Grana Weepin' Bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're diving back into the crossover that nobody asked for. We're diving back into Transformers Cross My Little Pony Take 2, the magic of Cybertron. And today we're going to look at issue number 3. So just to catch everybody up then, in the original one that was called the Friendship in Disguise, I think it was called, the bots went to Equestria, and in this one the equestrian ponies come to Cybertron. So far we've had issue 1 and we've had issue 3. It kind of has the same feel as the first one, as in there's kind of a story going on in the background, and then each little comic has kind of a breakdown into two little mini stories in between. But I have to say that these ones are much better than the original ones, because the original ones were like, here's a story, it went to everybody being friends. But with this one, there's kind of a nice theme running through it, and there's a storyline that actually feeds through the whole thing. So it's better, shall we say. We'll start by looking at this beautiful looking cover. Absolutely fantastic there. Soundwave with 2 of the ponies as well, looking absolutely cool. There is a very cool looking version of Soundwave in this, I have to say. Really good. So beautiful cover. Actually one of my favourite covers that they've done for this so far. The other covers that I currently own, this one and the one with Starscream on the front with the ponies. There's a few more funnier ones, like Starscream playing with ponies. That one was pretty cool. And there's the flip side of that on this one as well, which I'll show you at the end, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So let's open this bad boy up then and have a look at what we get on the inside. These stories are sick beats, dude, and also the beauty of Cybertron. Our roll call for the ponies are Octavia, Vinyl Scratch, the Young Six, who are best friends and young adventurers, and Rarity, Fashionable, and Magical Darling. Yep, that's the ponies. Let's get to the interesting bit then. Let's get to the bots. So the bots in this one is Soundwave, Ratchet, Knockout, and Breakdown. So at the beginning of this one, we are reminded that Sombra now controls Cybertron, or part of Cybertron, shall we say. So in Cybertron, or Sombratron as they're calling, Sombra is some dude from My Little Pony. I know nothing about him, seems powerful, and he's taken over the minds of some of the bots and some of the ponies as well. So the whole idea here is some of the cons, Autobots and the ponies, have had to unite forces to try and stop this unstoppable wave of Sombra's mindless zombies in the background, basically. So we start off with 2 of the ponies, try and remember what they're called, Octavia, whichever one it is, and Vinyl Scratch having a little bit of a chat. Now I don't think that Vinyl Scratch talks and just moves, I think, kind of like a bumblebee type of thing. Maybe if you're into ponies, tell me, because otherwise Octavia just seems to be talking to herself. So what's happening here is they're basically not sure what they can do to sort this problem out, because both of these just deal with music. So they're just going to basically go and hide until everything is fixed and they can kind of find their way back. When they walk into this cave, they find these young adventurers who are also kind of their students, who apparently are all on the lookout for sick beats, dude. So they were at somewhere. What did they call it? They called it was Cultcella. So Cultcella. Puns, they've got them. So these all of these wee beasties were at a festival called Coachella, listening to some sick beats, dude. And then there was a light, and they were transported to Cybertron, where there's no sick beats, dude, and it's a major bummer. So this Yak Yona thing, the ears are very disappointed. So then you see a like this as bots fly past, and they're trying to work out kind of what to do, really, and they want to just like, they all just want to go home, and the other ones are saying, no, we all need to kind of work together in harmony to try and defeat the bots, or at least kind of protect each other. At that point, Soundwave makes an entrance. Now, Soundwave is not controlled by Sombra at this point, so he's just doing what Megatron wanted, and one of Megatron's final commands before being taken over by Sombra was to find some ponies and make that magic work for them. So you can see here he says that Lord Megatron, he's apprehending these equestrians now. Now he can't actually get hold of Megatron. He keeps trying, but it's like... He then goes to battle with some of these creatures. There's griffins, there's dragons, there's horses, there's yaks, there's all kinds of stuff. And he smashes and crashes and eventually brings a whole heap of steel down on top of them. He calls one of them a buffalo, and he says, I'm not a buffalo, I'm a griffin. And he says that Yona's a buffalo, and Yona says, I'm not a buffalo, I'm a yak. That's all. Yona is yak. That's Yona's whole thing. It's a yak. Alright. At this point then, Soundwave then attacks them with some sound waves, which is cool. They're all into music. So what they do is they then think that the only way to get rid of all this Cybertronian steel that's fallen on top of all of them is to create a sonic blast to get rid of them. So the DJ Scratchy Pony thing wants to put some sick beats together, dude, and creates this kind of DJ booth out of magic and Cybertronian parts, and she's letting the bass build, and now she's firing the bass cannon, but nothing really happens. Boo, nothing happens. So she should have got a Skrillex on. She does look a little bit like Skrillex, actually. Maybe that's the idea here. And so basically Soundwave decides that he can do a lot better and unleashes absolutely everything. Kaboom, Ravage, Laserbeak, everything. And then they have a different idea. That doesn't work either. Everybody thinks they're doomed. They're going to be stuck in a cave with Soundwave trying to blow his way out. So instead, they say, well, we should work together and form a truce. Now, this isn't the first time that Soundwave has had a truce with the ponies. In the original one, Friendship in Disguise, he also caused a little bit of a truce with the ponies. So I'm surprised that he is as aggressive towards them. But what they do instead is he says, okay, let's have a truce. And then the Skrillex pony here decides to upgrade him to Sound Blaster. Basically awesome. I think this is so cool. It's probably the coolest thing they've done in the whole thing of this My Little Pony crossover. Make Soundwave this massive blaster cannon with just awesome sound waves that can emanate from it, and says they all have to work in harmony. So not only do we get Skrillex, but we get Soundwave, and we also get some... Is it a cello? Is it a bass? I don't know. I think it's a bass, isn't it? So they all work together, and then they, boom, blow a sonic hole into the environment, and then they're allowed out. And then Soundwave suddenly realizes that he fears that his master has now fallen under some sort of spell, and he's gonna have to work with the ponies to save Megatron. So that's the end of that story. There isn't quite the cut-off point, as there is with some of the others, where it tells you what the next story is. It just kind of flows into the next one. So in the next one we see that Ratchet has joined forces with Rarity, and what he's looking for is trying to find a way to cure these bots of this mind controlling. So he's actually looking for a test subject here, and you can see him going around with his net. So he basically, Rarity says that she learned from Applejack, which was, if you remember from a couple of issues ago, is that cowboy styly one on how to lasso people. So then they catch Knockout, and then they actually realise Knockout is not under any kind of spell whatsoever. He just says that he's actually just following the latest trend, which is definitely interesting. So then they say that you're going to have to come and help us, basically, try and figure out how to fix these bots. And he says, no, I don't really want to. Basically, he's only looking out for himself. So Ratchet places on him what he says is a bomb, and will explode and destroy his nice new tires and also his lovely paint job. So of course, being the selfish, self-obsessed bot that he is, he says, okay, I will help. Now during this time, he kind of forms this kind of weird little bond with the pony as well, over fashion, gossip and all kinds of things. And he says that, you know, he doesn't really like being a medic type thing. The kind of thing he likes doing is looking at stuff and doing this. And then Ratchet pulls him out of his little dreamland and says, hey, you need to help me, because look, even your friend, your close partner, Breakdown, is one of the possessed people. So of course Knockout, seeing his partner fully possessed, says, okay, I'll help you. You don't need to get the bomb off me. I'm gonna help you. So they go around and they help. They use this kind of power to try and knock out Breakdown. So he just kind of strides through. The rest of them all go back off to Sombra, and you can see that Breakdown is kind of KO'd. But Breakdown is a heavy bot and gets back up again. During this time, he starts thinking about, well, how did you beat this last time? And basically Ratchet starts saying, hey, use some kind of friendship energy or something. And even though he's being sarcastic, the pony says, well, yeah, I know you're being sarcastic, but that's kind of what we did, yeah. So they put the Cybertronian tech on the pony, and then try to use the pony's power through the Cybertronian tech, but it doesn't quite work how they want it to work. It's not too powerful. It's not powerful enough to actually bring them back. So because Knockout has these feelings for Breakdown, what they do is they also channel Knockout's energy and love for Breakdown through it as well, and they combine the two forms of magic and just the power of love, whichever version of power of love, either Huey Lewis or somebody else's. I guess they're just channeling love energy, and then they bring Knockout back and everything is great. You can see Breakdown is back, everybody's back, so they've now worked out how to bring people back, and what they hope is that Sombra doesn't work out, that they've worked this out, and of course Sombra has worked it out, and it's too late. And we see the cover of the next issue with Megatron, Sombra, loads of bots in the background, and then also some evil looking ponies. That's a pretty cool looking Megatron there. I like that. I do like that. This issue's been pretty good as well. Not too bad for what these things are. Like I said, the stories are fun, and I'm quite happy now that it seems to follow the story. This is much better than the Friendship in Disguise. This is the cover that I got. The other covers that were available were this one. I'm not sure why this one is even a cover, because this doesn't relate to any of the stories that went on in this one, but probably one of the better covers that you could have got, which is the flip side of the other one that we saw, and this is where we can see the ponies playing with bots instead of Transformers playing with ponies. So we see Unicron, Starscream Prime, Megatron, and RC. Really, really cool. It's funny that this one looks like the core class. These looks like the red. Those red figures that we're doing. So maybe we'll get an RC red figure. Maybe it's a little hint at that. Maybe I'm just clutching at straws. An advert for this. I don't know what this is. I remember this rabbit from something. But yeah, I don't read this one. So we also get Sonic the Hedgehog. The Science of Surfing, which again I don't read. And at the back, more Sonic the Hedgehog. Overall, I am definitely enjoying this one more than I have the other ones. Would I recommend it? I don't know. I think if you're a hardcore Transformers fan, it's probably worth reading. It's not for everybody. Like I always say on this, a lot of people who have young kids and have young daughters, or even young sons, who also like My Little Pony or Bronies or whatever it is, this is a great way for you to connect with your kids if you're old like I am. Then that's pretty good. A lot of people I can see, they don't kind of like it. This is definitely better than the first one. That's all I'm going to say. Well, that's everything from me today. If you're new around here, please give me a like, a share, and subscribe, because it really, really does help my channel out. And also, let me know your thoughts on the Transformers versus My Little Pony crossover. Are you liking this one more than the first one, or did you prefer the first one? And I will see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!